Everyone. So there is a new wildcard emerging in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, and he might be far more important than anyone expected. At first glance, Mr. Charles seems easy to read, played by Matthew Liard. He comes across just as another shady CIA operative, someone pulling strings behind the scenes, working under the mysterious and morally questionable Valentina Fontaine. You know the type: government suit, questionable athletics, probably not to be trusted. But episode 7 flips that perception completely, because instead of acting like a typical villain, Mr. Charles does something unexpected. He actively works against Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, and that raises a huge question. Is he actually one of the good guys? Well, not exactly, because the deeper you look, the more complicated he becomes. A recent episode reveals that Mr. Charles isn't just a background player, he's a handler, a controller, someone operating on a much larger scale than we initially thought. He's not dealing with politics, he's managing superheroes. It's heavily implied and now essentially confirmed that he has influence over Luke Cage, with operations happening beyond the US. That alone puts him in a completely different league. And it doesn't stop there. He also has a tense, clearly uncomfortable history with Jessica Jones, played by Kristen Ritter. Their dynamic suggests this isn't a new connection, it's something deeper, possibly tied to past mission or conflicts we haven't fully seen yet. Suddenly, Mr. Charles is just a side character, he's a central node connecting multiple heroes, and that's where things get really interesting. Because if you look at the bigger picture, the MCU had figures like this before. People who operate in the shadows, pulling strings and assembling players. Think Nick Fury, think Valentina. Now it looks like Mr. Charles could be stepping into that same role, but specifically for the street level defender side of the universe. And honestly, it fits. From the beginning, there's been something off about of him in a good way. He's too charismatic, too unpredictable to just to be a disposable CIA agent. Matthew Liard brings a kind of chaotic energy that makes it clear this character was always meant for something bigger. Now we are seeing what that something bigger might be: a spy master, a handler, a man with a global reach and access to powered individuals. Of course, there's still a big risk here. He's made an enemy of Kingpin, and that's never a safe position to be in. There's a real chance he doesn't survive the season, but if he does, he could become one of the most important connective figures in this corner of the MCU. Someone who brings together heroes like Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones under a single complicated agenda. Not quite a hero, not quite a villain, but something more than that, much more dangerous. Someone who decides who gets to act and when. Thank you for watching. Bye.